Gauranga. I have no qualification to speak on this subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is a very high quality subject, and whatever I could speak is just the mercy of Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. I seek blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas, dear Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, and our deities, Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra, so I can speak something beneficial to everyone. Side prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Rindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskrityam Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati namasloke bhaktir bhavati naishtukim Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 1, titled Genealogical Tables of Daughters of Manu. Text numbers 16 to 20. So let's recite the verses. Vidura Uvacha Atre Grihe Surasreshta Stityu Patyanta Hetavaha Kinchit Chiksharo Jata Etad Akyahi Me Guru Etadakyahi Me Guru Vidura Uvacha Sri Vidura said Atre Grihe Atre Guhe in the house of Atri Surashreshtaha chief demigods Sthiti maintenance Utpatti creation Anta destruction Hetavaha causes Kinchit something Chikshirsavaha desiring to do Jataha appeared Etat this Akyahi tell me to me Guru my dear spiritual master. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After hearing this, Vidura inquired from Maitreya, my dear master, how is it that the three deities Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, who are the creator, maintainer and destroyer of the whole creation, became the offsprings of the wife of Atri Muni? Purport. The inquisitiveness of Vidura was quite fitting, for he understood that when the super soul Lord Brahma, the Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva all appeared through the person of Anasuya the wife of Atri Muni. There must have been some great purpose. Otherwise, why should they have appeared in such a way? Next, text 17. Maitreya Uvacha Brahmana Chodita Srishta Atir Brahma Vidamvaraha Sahapatnya Yaya Vriksham Kuladrim Tapasistitaha. Synonyms. Maitreya Vacha. Sri Maitreya Rishi said, Brahmana by Lord Brahma. Choditaha, being inspired. Srishtav, for creation. Atrihi, Atri. Brahmavidam, of the person learned in spiritual knowledge. Varaha, the chief. Saha, with. Patnya, wife. Yayav, went. Riksham, to the mountain named Riksha. Kuladrim, great mountain. Tapasi, for austerities. Stitaha, remained. Translation. Maitreya said, when Lord Brahma ordered Atri Muni to create generations after marrying Anasuya, Atri Muni and his wife went to perform severe austerities in the valley of the mountains known as Riksha. Text 18. Tasmin prasuna stabaka palasashoka kanane Varbeshavadbhir udguste nirvindaya samantataha. Synonyms. Tasmin, in that. Prasuna stabaka, bunches of flowers. Palasha trees. Ashoka trees. Kanane, in the forest garden. Varbihi, by the waters. Shavadbihi, flowing. Udguste, in sound. Nirvindaya, of the river Nirvindya. Samantataha, everywhere. Translation. In that mountain valley flows a river named Nirvindya. On the banks of the river are many Ashoka trees and other plants full of Palasha flowers, and there is always the sweet sound of water flowing from the waterfall. The husband and wife reached that beautiful place. 19. Pranayamena samyamya manovarsha satam munihi atistad ekapadena nidvandvo nilabhojanaha. Synonyms. Pranayamena, by practice of the breathing exercise. Samyamya, controlling. Manah, mind. Varsha satam, 100 years. Munihi, the great sage. Atistat, remained there. Ekapadena, standing on one leg. Nidvandva, without duality. Anila, air. Bhojanaha, eating. Translation. There, the great sage concentrated his mind by the yogic breathing exercises, and thereby controlling all attachment. He remained standing on one leg only, eating nothing but air, and stood there on one leg for 100 years. The last verse for today, 20. Sharanam tram prapadyeham ya eva jagadishvaraha prajamatma samamyaham prayachatviti chintayan. Synonyms. Sharanam, taking shelter. Tam, unto him. Prapadye, surrender. Aham, I. Yah, one. Who. Yah, one who. Eva, certainly. Jagadishvaraha, master of the universe. Prajam, son. Atmasamam, like himself. Mahyam, unto me. Prayachat, prayachatu, let him give, iti, thus, chintaya, thinking. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He was thinking, may the Lord of the universe, of whom I have taken shelter, kindly be pleased to offer me a son exactly like him. Purport. It appears that the great sage Atri Muni had no specific idea of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, he must have been conversant with the Vedic information that there is a Supreme Personality of Godhead who is the creator of the universe, from whom everything emanated, who maintains this created manifestation, and in whom the entire manifestation is conserved after dissolution. Yato va imani bhutane, Taittiriya Upanishad 3.1.1. The Vedic mantras give us information of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, Atri Muni concentrated his mind upon that Supreme Personality of Godhead, even without knowing his name, just to beg from him a child exactly on his level. This kind of devotional service, in which knowledge of God's name is lacking, is also described in Bhagavad Gita, where the Lord says that four kinds of men with backgrounds of pious activities come to him asking her what they need. Atri Muni wanted a son exactly like the Lord, and therefore he is not supposed to have been a pure devotee because he had a desire to be fulfilled, and that desire was material. Although he wanted a son exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this desire was material because he did not want the personality of Godhead himself, but only a child exactly like him. If he had desired, if he had desired the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his child, he would have been completely free of material desires because he would have wanted the Supreme Absolute Truth. But because he wanted a similar child, his desire was material. Thus, Atri Muni cannot be counted among the pure devotees. Okay. Okay, just to get some background, in the third canto, chapter 21, Vidura requests Maitreya Muni to explain the dynasty of Swayambhu Manu. In response, sage Maitreya Muni explained in detail about Devahuti, one of the daughters of Manu, and her marriage to Kardama Muni, and they begot one son named Kapila, who is Supreme Lord himself. So, because since Kapila is the son of the is Supreme Lord himself, is born as a son of Kardama Muni and Devahuti, and he instructed Devahuti on the process of bhakti, and there many explanation happened in the rest of the chapter from starting 21. So now in the fourth canto, Sage Maitreya is speaking more about other children of Swayambhu Manu, Akuti, Prasuti are the other two daughters, and Uttanapada and Priyavrata are the two sons, and their descendants, along with 9 daughters who born before Lord Kapila to Devahuti and their descendants also. So far in the first chapter, I think Maitreya Muni discussed the first daughter, Akuti's marriage to Ruchi, and they had two children, Yajna and Dakshina. And Yajna, who is Supreme Lord himself, has been given to Swayambhava Manu, who later marries Dakshina, who is the partial incarnation of Lakshmi, who desired to marry the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in the next section, Maitreya Muni is explaining 9 daughters of Devahuti and their descendants. And I think one of the first daughter was Kala, who got married to Marichi, and they got 3 children, and one of them is known as after cleaning the feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead and be known as the Ganges of the spiritual world. And the second daughter is Anasuya, uh, who got married to Atri Muni, and they got 3 children, Soma, Dattatreya, and Durvasa, and they're all partial representations of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, respectively. So Vidura now inquires about why did all three uh, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva became the offsprings of sage Atri. So here, like Maitreya Muni started explaining the story of sage Atri. So after Atri got the instruction from Brahma to uh, progenate, so he travels to mountain Riksha along with his wife. Uh, and there, like he does severe tapasya, standing on one leg and eating only air for 100 years. And after that, like, so through that tapasya, his desire is to have a son like Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's what his desire was in that last text, what we read on 20. So based on the purport, uh, though Sage Atri knows the whole universe is created, maintained, and destroyed by the Supreme Lord, and he was meditating upon that Supreme Lord, but he is not fully aware of who is Supreme Lord. So, Srila Prabhupada's explanation, if Sage Atri was fully aware of Supreme Lord, he would have meditated to have Supreme Lord as his own son, than asking a son who is like Supreme Lord. Because so based on this, uh, one thing like I could take a point for me is it's very important for someone to have a spiritual master for the spiritual progression, and not anyone but who came in the disciplic succession. So just I was contemplating in the material world, even for our thing, like if we wanted to learn something or we want to send our children to teach something, so we always look for who is the best person who can teach or impart that specific knowledge to our children or to us. But when it comes to it's very sad that when it comes to the spirituality or spiritual path, people think that, oh, there are books are there, I can read and understand, and I can I can progress myself, and I won't need anyone else to guide me. But in that similar lines, like if we think, right? So I would not prefer to treat by a doctor who started his practice saying that he just read all medical books and he knows all surgeries, everything. Then I would like to go to a reputed doctor who studied in a reputed institution and who has practiced under very renowned doctors and all to treat me. So similarly, uh, we need to look for authenticity of guru before accepting someone as our spiritual master, because like there is a disciplic succession, like who is their guru, who is their guru, and finally when we reach all the way to the top, so the spiritual master should be like Krishna or Krishna. So the same thing, like over the weekend, on Saturday, on the occasion of Nityananda Trayadashi, Rompasam Maharaj was speaking about Lord Nityananda as Guru Tattva. And out of that class, I could understand one thing is that, like, a real guru's desire is always to connect the jivas to Supreme Personality of Godhead, where they could be liberated from this material birth and death. And a real guru would never look for his personal motivation, or he never looks for his personal satisfaction. But nowadays in India and everywhere, like there's so many people like who can eloquently speak on this subject matter on the books. They accept their many disciples, but internally they might have like many personal motives. So in that same line, like if you look at it, even when Supreme Lord comes onto planet Earth, incarnates, he himself accepts a guru to learn the scriptures, because that is to set the example. Though he is the originator of the all the Vedas and he is aware of all of them, still he wanted to set the example. So we know that Lord Ramchandra, or Krishna, and even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone accepted a spiritual master to set those examples. So, and also, like, it's not, and besides, like, even in Bhagavad Gita, like, Arjuna is the greatest warrior known by the world. He was still bewildered in the battlefield, seeing all his relatives standing in front of him. So he surrendered himself to Krishna, and then accepted him as guru and requested to teach him what is the right thing to do at that point of time. So the whole Bhagavad Gita was spoken as because Arjuna surrendered to Krishna and asked him what is the right thing to do. Otherwise, like, Bhagavad Gita would not have been there. So, and also, like, it's not like just accepting Guru is good enough. And Krishna also tells in Bhagavad Gita that fourth chapter, 34th verse, one has to surrender completely and render service unto the spiritual master, so that the spiritual master can impart the knowledge unto the disciple. So with that, I conclude and seek your forgiveness if I spoke anything incorrectly because of my limited knowledge. And also, I would seek prayers and blessings from all of you, so that I can sincerely listen to my Guru Maharaj and I can follow him. Thank you. With that, I would ask anyone to have any corrections or so, or any thoughts. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you
Hare Krishna.
for doing the class.
Thank you,
So
Guruji.
I joined after a few minutes. I was in the car. So I mean here the Atri doesn't. I mean Prabhupada is commenting. I mean of course that's why Brahma and Shiva and Vishnu appeared, right? Instead of
Yeah, because he was considering the Supreme Lord is, I don't know,
yeah.
I think it comes in the next verses.
Hmm.
But I think because he thinks the Supreme Lord is the creator, maintainer, and the destroyer. So he was
Hmm.
meditating on them. So that's the
But not
reason I
every
think all those three deities are
personalities
like
came.
three lords present in front of him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense why Prabhupada is commenting in that way. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. If no one has any comments or corrections, we can conclude this.
Krishna Prabhu, thank you so very much. Very nice
Please accept my
flow of talk. Nicely explained the historical facts and lineages. Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Okay, Lakshmikant Prabhu. So
We'll end it now. Yeah.
you can conclude. Hare Krishna, Vishal. Happy Krishna conscious day ahead. Thank you. Vancha kalpatarupyasya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo